going to be tidying up the potting table, but before I go and get my gardening clobber on, I thought it might be nice to have a look around and see how things have changed since the first video. So come on. So again, I'm starting around the side of the house and underneath my craft room window. So I can't remember exactly what it was looking like when we started, but I just know that things have really been coming into colour over the last couple of weeks. And we've got all of those lovely, what I call sort of bunny rabbits there, I can't remember the proper name, and salvia at the back there. And then over here, I think I showed you this, it was just the sort of leaves, and now we've got these lovely little flowers coming on it. And this is actually called black lace. And I think I told you last time I took a cutting from this, and that's actually in the border behind me. And then we're getting the purple flowers on the plant below my window. Now I did say I was going to keep it trimmed back, but we've decided that just for this year it doesn't really matter if that does go over the window, as I have a doll's house standing in the window anyway, so it's not really blocking any light. So we'll just sort of let that do its thing for now. And then we've got these lovely little pink flowers coming up on this plant, which again I don't know the name of it. Just pop that in the comments if you know what this one is called. And those flowers have actually just come out within the last couple of days. And also this plant down here, and I saw one of these at the garden centre and I thought, oh that's nice, and then I thought, I'm pretty sure we've got one of those. So that is actually hiding a bit behind these taller plants, which are, I think, actually weeds. But again, we're going to leave them there for now. But obviously with a border we would rather have the taller plants at the back and then anything a bit lower at the front, so we'll need to have a think about that for next year or next season. The lovely peach salvia is doing really well. A lot more flowers on that this year than there were last year. Beautiful sort of soft peachy coral colour. The bumblebees love it too. That's the sedum, which isn't flowering yet, but that's grown a lot over the last couple of weeks, as has the ivory on this side, the lavender on this side of the path. Valerian there, doing well. Another one over there. The Aquilegia hasn't really grown much more since the last video, but what I did want to show you were these lovely little white flowers on this bush at the side of the fence, and we get some lovely red berries on there in the winter, which the birds love. So I really like this. That's really grown. So if we just go around this corner, look at these fabulous lupins. So two separate plants here, and lots of new flower heads coming on this, even that I didn't see out here a couple of days ago. So these have really taken off. Again, really popular plant with the bees. And this one must be a good, what, three or 4 foot tall?
Yeah, easily, yeah. See, that second flower wasn't there the other day either. That's come out in the last couple of days.
It's just growing so quickly. So again, the salvia along here. They're the plants we just put in. The cosmos and the Broadway lights, I'm going to call it, because I can't pronounce the proper name. And no flowers as yet along here. But this is, again, this has grown a lot in the last few days. This is that lovely purple phlox, can't wait for that to come out. This is another plant that has lovely yellow flowers on it. Some more of the little bunny rabbits are coming up around here. And then I also just wanted to show you these beautiful roses. And these are the Dublin Bay, beautiful deep red roses. And just look at all the buds we've got on here and up there as well. So this one is doing really well this year, but the Rosa, which is the pink one further along, we've got a few buds, but there aren't any roses yet. There are a few buds if you look for them, but it's not doing as well as it should be. So
we didn't actually prune this that hard last year, did we?
no.
This one, so I think we need to actually do a bit more deadheading and do a bit more pruning and things next year, just make a bit more flowers. It's getting a bit too tall as well. So putting the gutter, but this one doing really well, isn't it? It does flower earlier than that one, this one though.
Maybe need to fix that arm back.
Yeah.
Keep that nice sort of shape going.
Just needs a bit of pruning as well, doesn't it?
I love roses, they're one of my favourite flowers. So I'm really, really pleased when I saw that they'd come out. And the front again, not much flowering yet, but as you can see everything's just growing really nicely. Okay, so let's get back around the back and make a start on the potting table. One of the salvias that I grew from a cut-in, and my first job today is going to be replanting this in the border near the fence. So I thought this would be a really good spot for it, as we've got quite a large area to fill here, and the salvias do grow to be quite large. So I'm just going to dig a hole sort of right in the centre here, in the depth of this border, if I can get through.
Do you want to have a go?
You might need to. Through.
Looks like a big stone or a big piece of concrete there, so I have to try and get that out.
Trust me to choose that exact spot. Yeah. I suppose we could go over, or...
no, we'll get it out. It needs to come out anyway, because we need to cultivate all this here anyway, don't we? You wanted a hole there. Look at that.
Wow. So, turns out I couldn't have picked a better spot. This is everything that Matt's got out of that tiny hole.
It wasn't a hole.
And
just full of rubble.
Is that a piece of china there?
I don't know.
Yeah, a little piece of
I think they used
pottery or china there. Probably nothing very interesting, but I love finding things like that. So now we've got the hole dug, what I always do when I'm planting, no matter what plant it is put in a couple of handfuls of compost and then a bit of water, And like I say, I do that for everything. Now I'm not sure if that's what you're supposed to do or whether you do that with some plants and not others, but if you can tell me any different, then please do. This lovely big terracotta pot which I can get another plant to put in. I'm not going to do that today because I haven't got enough compost for that, but what I do want to do is fill this smaller terracotta pot, and I've actually got here 9 geraniums, so I'm going to put 3 of them in there and then the other 3 in my flatter pot around the back, which is actually covering the stone drain pipe. So let's do that next. So this is the pot that I want to put 3 more of the hydrangeas in. Now, since last year, something else has started growing in there. Now, I don't know if these are weeds or plants, but thanks to one of the viewers on our first video, Marilyn Powell, she did actually suggest using the Google image search, and they will tell us what they are. So we're going to try that now. So there's 2 different ones here. Do you want to do that one first?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Pennsylvania smartweed. Was pinkweed.
So there is actually a weed, is it?
Oh, not weed, yeah. That might be weed, no, eucalyptus.
Or eucalyptus. So it's given 3 suggestions.
Yeah,
for
we've got
that
Pennsylvania smartweed, not weed, eucalyptus. I think it's because it's quite generic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we try that one?
Okay, so try that one. These leaves are slightly serrated, so it is different to that one.
Yeah, good image. Peppermint, watermint.
Oh, okay. Does it smell like
No.
mint water?
Or it could be mentha longifolia.
So, okay, so again, it's given sort of 3 suggestions for each of these. We're not sure if they're just weeds or not, so what we're actually going to do is plant them up in some smaller pots and just actually see what happens with them and see if they look nice, because our sort of whole thing with the garden is, even if it's a weed, if it looks nice, we usually just keep it and hope that it will attract the wildlife. Okay, and then I'll have this pot free for my 3 geraniums there.
So while Julie's just doing that, I'm going to plant in this Cabaret Dark Rose into the pot that just goes in the corner of the actual path there. It used to have begonia in here, and I think most of it probably got eaten by the deer or the squirrels because it's completely gone. There's nothing in there at all now. Just pour your track. That's nice to have. The soil's really good in here still. We'll put some compost in it as well. Put it right in the middle. Something like that, then hopefully that should spread and trail over the sides.
I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear me over the wind noise, but really pleased now with how the table is looking. So we've actually taken quite a bit off. Some of the larger pots, we've got a couple over here with what we think is weeds in them, but we'll leave them there for now. We'll water them when we water the garden and see what happens. But really pleased with how everything else is looking. So again, a few pots down here that we're going to see what comes of them. And then we've got the hydrangeas, the lovely little yellow helichrysum there, more hydrangeas, the petunias there, which hopefully will flow nicely over the edge of the pot. And that's a lovely little rose in that larger pot there. Now this pot here with the petunia in is almost on its last legs, but I love that. I love the look of that. So old and rustic, so hopefully that will hold together. I think it's just chipped around the top actually, so it should do. Okay, so that's it for today's video, and we really hope that you've enjoyed this instalment.
If you have, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos.
And we're going to be back soon with another episode. So until then, take care. Bye.
Bye.